Welcome to season 4 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat. We've got an amazing lineup of guests this year, and we'll be having weekly live stream conversations that every business owner needs to hear.
That's right. This week, we're going to be discussing business persona, putting your best face forward with Amber Schwinn of The Other Side of Laughter. Before we introduce Amber, however, we want to throw out our call to action right here at the beginning of the show. We want all of you to start thinking about how you use private messaging to connect with other brands.
Okay. So real fast, and this will be the only time this season I say this. Anna and I have a goal, and we are going to get our show from 1 hour to 30 minutes. Yes, it says 15-ish, but like really. So we'll see though, because I don't know. I'm really excited about Amber. I mean, you know what I mean? Where you just want to like, ugh. Okay. So first, I did tell Anna, I said, hey, I want to like show everybody how I found Amber, and it's on the TikTok.
It's on the talk.
Is that a thing? I'll have to ask Amber.
You just started it. It's on the talk.
I'm going to ask Amber. She's kind of like a TikTok star, so I'm going to ask her opinion. But I want to show, I'm going to bring up something. I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to show you guys how I found her, and because she's amazing. So this is a little snap of her. Come on, play. Come on, play. Wait, I'm going to refresh, guys. This is because it's the first show and we can't get it. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, of course, the audio is not on there. Man, this is how today is going. Really? Okay. Anyway, this is all you need to see, really, because you're going to actually see her. Oh, this is such a good one.
Oh my gosh, she's so good.
I love her. Okay.
If you're not following her on the talk, you need to be. And we're going to give you all that information at the end of the show, of course. Yes. Amber, right?
Yes. Okay. So this is a little bit about Amber. Amber Schwinn, owner of The Other Side of Laughter, is an event planner, entertainer, and vintage Lucille Ball performer. I'm so obsessed. For more than 10 years, Amber has brought laughter and fun to events across the country in a variety of roles. Maybe it's county, but it could be country. We were just talking to Amber earlier. Amber has, as one of only 2 West Coast Desilu estate-approved Lucy impersonators, Amber's starstruck fans call her the real deal and a true-to-life Lucy, as she keeps the Lucy legacy alive. That's her, right? I mean, her. Yeah, so I'm going to just take this out. Let's not waste any time. Look how fast this was, you guys. Our guest is coming in. Not even 5 minutes in, and our guest is coming in on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Woo! It's Amber.
I'm very proud of you.
Right.
I know how hard it is to not talk about stuff you're excited about. So I'm proud. 5 minutes, you did it.
I know,
but it's hard. It's hard. It's hard when you're so excited about you. I mean, like, really, you know.
I'm flattered. Thanks.
So, Amber, we just have to start off with, you've got some fans already on. So here we've got Jamie. She's the best.
Hi, Jamie.
Fryer, who was one of our guests
Miss America,
Camille. Yeah, this is Miss America 2020 saying hi.
Camille, I'm so sorry about the whole crown thing. I was told to say it.
Right. She was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, she'll love it. Wait, can we, you know, it's funny. So one of the things we had done with Camille at the show, we're like, look, if something happens, you just say 2020. Do you think we could still say that in 2021? Like, can we just use it as a verb?
I saw a thing that was, this year's so 2020. And I saw a thing that was like, 2020 just left the room, put on a wig, and walked back in and was like, I'm 2021. Nice to meet you.
Have you seen that commercial, the one where 2020 and Satan are like dating off of Match? It makes me laugh so hard. So Satan and 2020 meet on Match. And then they have this relationship. And then she's like, they're talking about how they've met 2021. And she's so boring. And she's just so this and calm. And it's all peace this and peace that.
Hope so. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's jump right into it, Anna. We'd love to take our coffee cup selfie. And so this would be our selfie with Anna's almost ready. She's almost there.
I'm coming.
Ready? Okay. On 3, guys. 1, 2, 3. Yay, we did it.
Task 2 done.
Yes, done.
Look at you on a roll.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What is next, Anna? I feel like as it's going fast, like a Japanese bullet train, you know, where you're like,
I know. It does. It is going faster because normally we spend some time just chit chatting. It's almost like, hey, Selena, haven't seen you all weekend, so let's just talk for a little while at the beginning of our show. But we're not going to do that today. Yeah. We did our coffee cup selfie, which means then we are jumping right into our first question, and it's the mental health question of the day. Yeah. So our 15-ish minute coffee chat always starts with a great question from our mental health barista, Lauren Brune. We love the insight it gives us into our guests, kind of that behind the scenes, and gets you starting to think, gets your brain percolating a little bit. So today's question, Amber, is what do you know now that you wish you'd known at the start of your career?
Oh gosh, there's so many things.
You can choose more than one if you want.
Don't overpluck your eyebrows. Drink more water. But it's the topic of mental health.
It can be whatever you want. It doesn't necessarily be about your mental health. It literally is just kind of that thought that gets you started into that mind frame of,
See, this is why I perform and I don't talk to people. I hide behind a wig. Gosh, there's so many things. I mean, choosing to trust yourself, choosing to trust people who are supporting you and who believe in you and who say, you're doing a great job. I think I had such a complex from high school of I was really passionate about theater and performing. And I wasn't the ingenue type. So I wasn't getting cast in anything in high school. You know, I was the goofy sidekick, or I played the mom, or the funny grandma. So to me, I was like, well, I'm not talented. Sorry. It's okay. I wish I had a dog. So I'm living through you. You know, and you start thinking, well, maybe I'm not good. And people are just saying that because then you have other friends who are not quite talented, but everyone's going, you're so great. You're wonderful. You're amazing. So I always thought oh gosh, I don't know who to trust. Do I trust myself? Do I trust other people? And you just have to go for it. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. The money will follow most of the time. Sometimes not. Sometimes it won't show up for a long time, but do what makes you happy. For me, I always feel like I have to be, engaging other people and creating joy for other people and helping people. That's what makes me happy. So if I can combine that with doing what I love, I'm happy. I'm good doing that. So sorry, I'm all over the place with this, but
no, I love it.
Choose to trust yourself and others, because you can worry all day long about your relationships or your friendships or your talent or your confidence, but choose to trust. That's the tough part.
That is so good. Amber, that's so good. So it is really hard, right? Because especially when you're starting out, you think, I think I'm pretty good at this, but I'm not really sure. And even 20 years down the road, I mean, I have a 20-year career in marketing, and every once in a while I'm still I don't know if I really know how to do that.
And it's easy, especially, in the entertainment field, to get rejected day after day after day, feel defeated, so, and even, I mean, if we want to take it back to the talk, that's not my job, but it's a fun, creative thing I get to do. And I've met a lot of people through it, and I've gotten other opportunities through it, which has been great. But there's people who during this pandemic, that's their creativity. That is their art. That is their everything. And there's cinematic masterpieces on there. Let's be honest. But for them, I could see how easy it would be to feel discouraged, because you have a video that goes viral because of the way the internet is. And then your next video that you spend so much time on gets no love, Yeah. So you have to really trust yourself and have confidence in yourself, know your worth, and then add text. But know yourself. And because it's easy to be so influenced by things outside of your control, and trends and algorithms and all that stuff. So you have to choose to trust yourself and others. That's it.
No, that right, Anna? Like that can correlate into any business owner and what they do for their business.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to do just what Amber does to take in that advice and what she does. Oh, I love that so much.
There was like 3 main points.
Yep.
She said, trust yourself, know your worth, have confidence. Like, what a great message to start out with.
Can I add one more?
Yes.
Never compromise your happiness for success. Never give up who you are for success. Especially in the entertainment field. Especially as an actor. Especially as a female actor. As an actress. Never compromise who you are for success. Because another role will come. Another job will come that's meant to be. But if you give up who you are, you're starting to chip away. You know?
Look, I added it to our ticker. Never compromise your happiness for success.
That is, Amber, kudos to, like, that's great. I mean, and this is where that whole mental health question kind of gets us into. It's just like, you know, being really mindful of ourselves, right? And taking that into account, because mental health is important for business owners, so that, you know, someday it's not all going to be perfect, right? But it's just do what you can with it. This is, you guys, I'm pointing down to the wise words of Amber Schwinn right here. Just take that into account. You know what I mean?
Ticker tape for the TikTok.
Right, totally.
You got to do TikTok ticker tape.
Yeah. So I think,
for the budding entrepreneur, these 4 things are so important. Like these 4 things are like the key to continuing when you feel like you're failing, or when things aren't going exactly right, or like you were saying, maybe you get rejected over and over again when you're trying to do something. And then if you just push forward through it, eventually it happens for you. You find your ideal clients, you find your people, you find your space.
And you've got to, you need to find your center and your home that you can always come back to. I mean, it's like in a relationship, you need to be a whole person first, ideally, because if your relationship crumbles away and you've been leaning on that, what do you have? You need to have yourself. So with your business, with your career, with whatever it is, you need to know who you are, because people will come and go, companies will come and go, coworkers, bosses will come and go, but you need to be able to return to you. You know, for some of the character training that I was a part of, they have you throw out, like for Lucy, for example, we threw out all these crazy words. What is Lucy? Who is Lucy? Zany, wants to be in the show, housewife, this, that, till you have a sentence that if you're out there performing and you lose it, you're like, oh gosh, what, like I lost her essence. What do I do? Oh my gosh. How do I respond in this moment to this amazing question this guest has given me, and I'm kind of lost? You replay that sentence, you know, so your key words, zany, confident, childlike, interested, you know, I'm forgetting the sentence now, of course, that I'm in the moment, but you return to that. So I think just on a personal level, when you're in the whirlwind of a meeting or being nervous about something, have your home base sentence. You know?
Ooh, that's a good one, because I'm constantly off track. Like I'll be like, "Ooh, shiny object," and I run over here to look at things, and sometimes Anna has to be like, "Hey, come back, Selena, come back."
And it could be, what do you want out of life? What is your life mission currently? And it can change. It can change. Life changes.
It's almost like you're doing affirmations for yourself in the moment, like when you need it the most, when you're I don't know which direction to go. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to do this. It's almost like you're affirming to yourself, hey, I know this. I know these things. I'm an expert at this. This is my job. This is my profession. I love that. That's such good advice.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I'd like to book my next appointment with you, Amber, to go over next month's affirmations.
I do aim to someday finish my psychology degree.
No, just be an I Love Lucy or Mary. Can I just, well, first of all, I just want to go back. You actually play 2 of my most favorite characters ever. Mary Poppins is
it's so good.
I like when we went to Disney World, I'll tell you this, it's funny. I told my family, like, we went with my in-laws and my mom. My mom flew from Hawaii, my in-laws from South Carolina, and we all went to Disney World. And I said to everybody, I will leave you all the minute I see Mary Poppins, just so you know, that is our goal. And so when we actually went to the World of England, where however they do that Epcot stuff, I was like, it said Mary Poppins here at 12. And I was like, in an hour. So we ended up waiting in an English pub for Mary to show up so that the adult, my kid was like, I don't understand your love for Mary Poppins yet.
You don't have to understand. You just have to respect it.
I said, I don't care. This is for mom. And I was like the older adult in there with just standing with my mother-in-law who's from England that wanted to hear how her, anyway. You played two very amazing peoples. And that, when we talked about our topic, it's your best face forward. It's kind of like your craft really helps transform, and it does kind of boost my, like the mental health of others. Like you just give that dose of laughter and that dose of happiness, with what you do, and you do it so well.
And in a unique way, this isn't something you see every day, right? You don't see Lucille Ball every day. You don't see Mary Poppins every day. It's different, and it's unique, and it's fun, and it's interesting. So I'm excited to have you just explain a little bit about like what you offer people when you're doing this. What do you do for them?
She's like, well, I do a lot.
There, you mean like what am I current? Okay, I'll start at the beginning.
Right.
A long time ago, I was born. I'll fast forward a little bit. Always been interested in acting, even as a kid. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. It is in my blood. It's what makes me happy, and I keep returning to that. My husband and I had this conversation the other day of like, right now it's the middle of a pandemic. Yeah. Hopefully towards the end. I'm going to put that out there. We're towards the end of the pandemic. I've been furloughed. He lost his job. So we're both kind of in this place of like, we need to make money, but we want to do what we love. It's a nice place to be able to start over with something, but we need money, And, so I've been ruminating, like, what do I want to do? And he's like, you keep coming back to two things, something in the mental health realm of things, trauma-informed therapy for kids, and acting, whether like you want to be on Broadway, because that used to be my thing, is I'm going to go study in New York and be on Broadway, or performing in a theme park or doing film or whatever. Those are the two things. So you need to focus on that. So it's in my blood. And if I'm not performing, if I'm not acting, it's just fun. It's like dress up for adults. We all kind of want to escape our realities and play pretend, and it's fun. It's fun to be somebody else for a little bit. So I have theater and film and all that in my background. I started working in theme parks in 2006 at Disneyland. I was not a pretty, pretty princess. I was the pretty, pretty princess photo taker. I was close to them. Okay. And it's funny because some of the girls who did work there as royalty are now my friends, and I work with them at Universal.
Oh, I love it.
So I walked in my first day and I was like, I have hosted you before. I helped you out. Oh yeah. Huh? And that was kind of a weird moment because I started at Disney. I was 18. And you see them, you see the princesses and the royalty, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not worthy to be here with you. Oh my gosh. And then when I started at my job, I was in that category of, character, face character. You're out there, you're talking. And I would see that same look from like new employees who would come in like, oh my gosh, you're Lucy. And I'm like, oh, no. I'm just me.
Just Amber.
You'll learn, because now I'm besties with that girl over there who used to wear a crown at the other place, and she's not a princess at all. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off track. See, chatting. I'm going to be the one that makes this go over. So I've worked in theme parks. I went from there to Six Flags Magic Mountain, where I did HR. But I did training in HR, and I loved training because it kind of was like performing, but it was I loved being able to inspire people and get them excited about their job and give them the tools to do their job and follow up with them. They were my little ducklings all over the park, And then I went into entertainment there, and I did stilt walking and parades and shows.
Oh gosh, stilt walking, the things we learn.
I cried so hard my first day of learning to do that. Do not be fooled. I cried.
I have the absolute worst balance. Like, so I can't even imagine. Like, I feel like I'll be, I can't imagine being on the stilts, and then I would be like the worst. I would be fired like a minute after.
I did stilts. I was doing stilts and parades and shows and stuff. And then found out I was pregnant, and they were like, "Get down. You're a liability." And then I became one of the training supervisors for all of entertainment. So that was cool. I got to literally train superheroes and do all that stuff. But after I got back on stilts, after I'd had my kid, I went, this balance feels familiar. Towards the end, when I was all waddly pregnant, it was the same kind of muscles that I used when I was up on stilts.
So all you pregnant out there,
you are prepared. You'll be fine.
Got it.
Be like, oh.
Yeah. I have a foggy memory of my being pregnant 14 and some years change ago. And I'm like, yeah, I was just a hot mess baby. I was telling Anna this weekend, I was like, I was scared of needles, scared of this, scared of that. And I was like, the pediatrician that we talked with before we had my daughter, he's like, I said, do I need to be in the room with my baby when she gets shots because I'm too scared? And he looked at me and he goes, you need to mom me up. That's what he told me. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. Cause you're more self-centered before you have that first child, right? You just have no idea what it means to take care of another human being. So yeah, but yeah. Okay. And where that's hysterical stilts and whatnot. That's, I can't.
I'm going on too long, but anyways, so I did that stuff, and then I was doing, technically still am, although I haven't been in quite a long time, voiceovers for Six Flags. So when you go to Six Flags and you take the tram from the parking lot, that's me telling you to shut up and sit down. When you go to the ticket taker booth, that's me saying, don't bring in food or drink. I tell everyone how to not have a good day. Oh
yeah. There's that song, Amber, that went viral on TikTok, right? Where it's like, here we go. And it's, oh gosh. But it's the guy that does the New York subway that says, enter onto the thing. But some famous group asked him to do this part in his song. So everybody uses it. I have to send it to you. Anyway, I'm just saying, Amber, you could be like, I don't know, maybe Maroon 5's next like part. You know what I mean?
It's funny because my husband calls it my Six Flags voice, my announcer voice. Yeah. Hello, Julie. It's a telephone voice. We all have our telephone voice. And it's nothing like mine. Excuse me. I got up real early this morning, guys. I'm on California time. I'm tired.
Oh my gosh. What is your is your telephone voice? Is it a Cali girl, like deep in the valley?
No, I believe it was like, you want to sound approachable, but like you also kind of know what you're talking about. You have authority to tell people to not smoke on the bus. But in a friendly way. Oh gosh. Right. Let's see. I haven't done it in so long.
No pressure.
I haven't recorded in so long. Let's see. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to 15-ish minute coffee chat with me, the person who sounds like someone at your dentist's office when they answer the phone. That's not,
oh my God.
That's not how I talk.
That is so
right. You need to just hire Amber for like even your like voicemail messages, because that right there, And, like, usually you're like just waiting, but I'd be like, oh, whoa, what's going on in this voicemail?
If you
I'm leaving a message.
If you call the park, they still have me as their phone tree voice for when you need to find somebody.
Oh my God. That was awesome. You just elevate, like my hairs are standing up for some reason. Oh, okay, wait.
Thanks.
Okay,
it's
so
funny though, because when we would go to the park, my son would be like, "There's mom. There's mommy again. There's mom."
He's like the one that's like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Right. Please, the camera's on us. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to shift into real fast because this is, we asked Amber a question we are kind of a little profesh. We send out forms so we can try to be organized. But
I appreciate that so much.
No,
because I am not.
You're so funny. So this is our toolkit, and we talked about it. I got a little cheeky, slide into your DM, Amber. But okay, we asked Amber, hey, what are some things like that? What does she use? That's super important. And she had mentioned, like, communicating on social media is the best way for her to connect with her peeps. You know what I mean? And so I told Dan, I'm like, oh, perfect. So our question, we asked this earlier, do you connect with some in private message within your social platform? I don't know if that reads right. Anna didn't proof me yet. So this is not Anna, guys. This is all Selena. Okay. But we asked this in our call to action. And then here are some 3 things that actually connecting on social media with your favorite person, your brand, it says you get a more honest and relevant interaction. You can actually connect. And it sounds yucky, but business deals, like sometimes that's where people are connecting and say, hey, and I can tell you, I've been on Instagram and I've gotten so many people go ask me questions about websites, and it's, and then this last one, personal conflict resolution. I work for many brands, and I have to be the person that says, I'm so sorry you had a really horrible time with us. Let's continue this conversation. So, Amber, what's your take on sliding into the DMs?
From a business standpoint, I'm all for it. From a personal fan standpoint, I appreciate it, but know your boundaries.
Right.
Yes. Good.
Yes.
Yep.
But if you are excited about somebody, or you want to tell them, I really love your work, and that kind of in that vein, I'm okay receiving those messages because I go, oh, I'm doing something right. That's good.
Right.
Positive feedback, and I do have a lot of people that send me messages on Instagram all the time about the one thing that really has struck me over the years with Lucy is the connection that she brings to different generations. So many stories of my grandma used to watch it with me. I watch it with my daughter or my son. We all get together once a week and watch it. It brings everybody together. And so many people have wonderful, good memories, and they feel inspired to share them with me. I'm not Lucy. I understand that completely.
Right.
And I know they do too. But I feel honored that they share that with me. So that's fine. But if you're going to message me and ask where do you live? Or, just stuff, personal things.
Right.
I'm not going to answer those.
Right.
Going
back to relevant interaction.
But for business stuff, I have a website where you can, because since I haven't been working, obviously, outside of Universal, I was doing gigs across the country. You were right with country.
Good.
I was doing routine gigs in San Francisco every year, in wine country. I've been to Salem, Massachusetts. So people will book me all the time, and I lost all of those gigs.
Wow.
So I had my job, and then I had my make ends meet money from the gigs, and that all went bye-bye. So it was, I think, the week after my job shut down. My friend was like, why don't you just do Cameo, do little videos for people? And I was like, that won't do well. And then people started booking them, and I was very unprofessional at the beginning. I'm getting off topic here, but now I have curtains, you know, and a ring light and things, and a little setup that I do. But so I have my website, ilovelucy.me, and you can book a 1-minute video, 2-minute video, a Zoom session. So there's lots of ways to still celebrate and have Lucy at your party without being there until we can again. So I've had to kind of adapt to that. And it really has become a business dealing with all of these things. So when people email me from my website, that's super awesome. Email is great. But a lot of people find me on Instagram. A lot of people find me on TikTok. So I get messages from all over the place. So that really does help, because you're going to reach me better that way instead of leaving a comment. Like, don't comment on videos, don't comment on photos. Just slide into the DMs, but be professional. You know, please don't say want video, how much.
Right. That is what we'd love to say. I mean, Amber will say hello first, like, hi. And then she'll be like, of course, this is how, here's my website. You know, like, I think like Julie had mentioned here, right? DM, great for first contact with businesses, and then they'll guide you to the email. And that's exactly what most businesses will do. I know I've done that. Amber, I found her on TikTok, and then I was so stoked when I followed her for a while, and then I realized, like, oh, she does these Zoom things. So I was pre-setting my own birthday gift up, and I sent it to my sisters, and I said, hey, just putting it out there. This would be like the most epic, awesome birthday gift.
Acting all surprised when I showed up. Oh.
I know why, you know, but it's more the surprise that my sisters remembered and then actually executed the process of getting that to happen, right? And then I know this is totally off topic, which is why we are ahead of our 30. We're at 33 minutes. I'll make this really fast. So when you talk about Disney, and some people are like, you're in your year's age, why do you love Disney the way that you do? And I'm like, it's the feeling it gives me when I step in there, and I know that I will be transformed back to a time that I was so happy. And they do it so well in that sense. And everybody that's there, yes, it's their job, but they do it well enough that I don't have to be like, oh, she hates her job today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when
that's part of the job. Is pretending you love your job when you don't love your job someday.
That's right. So anyway, but yes, slide into the DM. And I think, you know, like I said, we had asked Amber, you know, what was her what was away. And I was like, oh yeah, slide into the, you know, anyway. Anna, do you got anything?
No, I mean, the only thing I would add is just, especially with your profession, Amber, you're a superstar to some people, even though we know you're not Lucy. You play Lucy. We know you're not Mary Poppins, but you do such a good job portraying these characters.
Yeah, Lisa, I love you. That's my sister, everybody.
Sisters rock.
She's so supportive. I appreciate you.
Yeah, so you do such a good job portraying these characters. There's a little bit of a fangirl or fan moment going on when you respond. And I think sometimes people get caught up in that moment, but I love the idea that it's okay to reach out, especially when it comes down to you're trying to book her or you want more information about her and or what she does. But yeah, I think the keep it relevant is really the key. Like, as much as you might want to fangirl, she's not going to give you personal information about, you know, I don't know.
Well, and
she's in the shower. It's not happening, people.
And it is different. If it's, you know, we're talking about business things. Like, if you want to book me for stuff, be profesh. It's cool. Yeah. You know, most often it's, oh my gosh, I found you on TikTok. I love Lucy. You do a great job. I'm so giddy. You know, and I appreciate all those things. And it's, you know, going back to the whole trust yourself thing. Even now, I'm like, am I really good? Like, I have the approval of Lucy's family. Like, that should be enough for me, you know?
That's huge.
But I'm still like, I don't know. Do all 258,000 TikTok people really like me? It's bizarre. Like, it's bizarre. I'm sitting here in my bedroom things are a mess. It's not glamorous. I have a juice box on the side because I'm a type 1 diabetic and my blood sugar was going low. Like, right. I have notes. I'm a real person and I'm messy and I don't find myself fancy or glamorous at all. So when someone made a video, an entire video on TikTok for me saying, I love Lucy, you do a great job, you liked my video. Of course I did. It was phenomenal. Why would I not like it? But you liked my video. It made my week. Oh my gosh. And I was crying on my couch. Like, look at this. Someone likes me. Right. You know, so it's bizarre. It's strange to me. But I appreciate the fan messages. Yeah. It's just strange. Like, it's strange to me. You know, I want an autograph photo. Okay. Yeah.
So I have to tell you, this kind of leads perfectly into the last question we kind of have for you today.
Yeah.
So you are, as an artist and professional, you have to kind of be spot on when you're doing your character, when you're doing your characters, to really make it feel the way you need people to feel when they're with you. So your Lucy character, and when you mix your Lucy character and then your actual personality, right? So you've got these two different character qualities happening. How does each one help the other be the best it can be?
Oh,
you know?
That's a good question. I mean, for people who meet me after watching me be Lucy, they're like, oh, you're just like her. Or they assume that her mannerisms or her personality traits have bled so much into my life that I'm just becoming her. No, I've just always been that way. You know, Lucy Ricardo is very different from Lucille Ball. I mean, I don't think I don't know. I don't want to say I'm not like either of them, but if you mix the two of them, you kind of have me. I can be loud and zany and perky and crazy, but then I can also be quiet and reserved and very scared to talk to people. But you know, you have Lucille Ball and Lucy Ricardo. I don't know. I've always done big eyes and ooh, you know, I've always made those faces. Yeah. So it just kind of plays into it. It goes well. It goes well for the character. But I do find that when you're able to step into a character, it's fun to live as them, especially if they're more confident, if they're more interesting, if they're more than what you feel you are, or they're different from you. I shouldn't say more than what you are, if they're different from you. Lucy Ricardo is very determined. She is not afraid of anything. She is very confident. She feels she's the most talented person in the whole world. She wants to meet celebrities. You know, she is, if you think about a child who feels like anything is possible, that's her. You know, I'm going to do whatever I want because I have this great idea and I got this best friend and it's going to be great. So sometimes if I can borrow that energy of anything's possible, that helps me. Yeah. Also, I think it's kind of an icebreaker. If people have seen me as Lucy, they expect blah, so I'm allowed to be a little more of my weird, eccentric, loud self, and I don't have to be quiet and reserved because no one's expecting that. So I don't know. I think they complement each other quite nicely.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you said you're allowed to be your normal self because they've seen you as Lucy, which is really interesting because I think we fall into this rut where we're supposed to be something. And so we try and change our innate personality to match what that something is supposed to be. I mean, especially as a business professional, right? You cannot tell jokes. You have to be this way. You need to look a certain way. But the reality is I think that when you mesh your actual personality with that business persona, you get a more authentic, real, personable, and that's when you really find the people that are going to fall in love with you and who you are and your brand and all of those things.
And then,
so I really like that.
I think it goes back to, you know, the knowing yourself, trust yourself. Yeah. And it lets other people, like if I go into somebody's office for a meeting and they're in a suit and a tie and they're there and it's clean and, you know, it's very like sterile and they're not smiling. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm not going to get this job clearly because you don't fit well. But if I go into someone's office and they have a cool coffee mug that says "Don't quit your daydream" on it, or a picture of their kids, or if they're more themselves other than pick whatever stereotype you want, I go, oh, I can be me. You know, I'm more comfortable. Oh, there are real people in the world. I forget this, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I sometimes wonder if those people in those business suits, though, aren't doing that simply because that's how they feel like they have to be. Not saying that wearing a business suit, there's anything wrong with it, or having a clean office. I mean, if you saw mine, it's horrific right now. So clean offices is not my forte. Yeah. But, you know, there's like this aura of professionalism that goes along with you know, being in business or owning a business. And I love that you're able to mix that fun into it. And I think that's like a main message, right? To not forget who you are and at the core as you're starting your business or growing your business, and getting out there and branding yourself, not to forget who you are. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I just love that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to work all the time, if you're going to be a workaholic or your work is your life, you need to be happy when you're doing it.
Yeah. Yes.
Not being you.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, right? It's exhausting trying to, I can't imagine. So first of all, I have to tell you, I was very surprised hearing you as Amber. You sound like your Lucy voice still, right? Like I immediately like, oh, she still sounds like the Lucy voice I know, because I've only met you as Lucy, right?
Yeah. Hi.
Right. I know. Hi. It's so good. But it is funny because I was like, wow, it's not so different than her actual voice, where I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting. Like you were able to do this like grand character, but really I can see how you've mixed the two together. Now having met you as Amber and not Lucy. Anyway, it's kind of fun for me to be able to see that duality, but it works so well together.
All of my personalities play.
Right.
All of them.
Oh my gosh.
Psychology degree comes in, right?
It is easy. Some days out on set at the theme park, I would find myself veering back into Amber a little too much. You find what works for you. You find your strengths. You find, like if I can get the mannerisms down and the makeup and, kind of look like her and move like her, people forgive the voice, if I'm not exactly there. Or if you have the voice down and the mannerisms, but you don't really look like the person, people forgive that because their brain goes, oh, 2 out of the 3 are there. But you play to your strengths, and sometimes it would turn into Amber's version of Lucy. Playing to my strengths too much, and I'd be out there and I'm like, oh gosh, it's time to binge I Love Lucy, because that's how I get back into it, is I watch it a whole bunch.
No, but again, you saying like play to your strengths, again, that is like for every everything. My strength is not writing copy. I write very conversationally. I have so many grammar. Amber, I made a funny little email to you, like, it's not me, but it's all Anna. She picks apart like the letters, and I'm like every 4th word, which is probably why I misspell half of my stuff, and that's not my strength, but I know that it's not my strength. And so I play to what I know I do well, and Anna does her. So I just think what you said applies across the board, is play to your strengths, and then it won't be so rough,
Yeah. When we don't, I loved this comment by Lisa. It's suffocating to consistently try and be something that maybe you aren't exactly, right? Yeah. So when you're not playing to your strengths, when you're trying to be this thing that you expect other people to think that you're supposed to be, it's exhausting and it's tiring, and ultimately it's not going to be successful.
It's and you're not only not helping yourself and driving yourself crazy, you're not helping and benefiting those around you. Like when we did Glamour Days, a vintage celebration, which was our vintage festival in March. It was the last thing we all did before the world ended. It It was me and my husband who used to run a playhouse. He had, we'd put together events and stuff before. And then my friend Stephanie, who's a Marilyn Monroe impersonator and a great friend of mine. And he looked at us and he's like, I want to do events. I want to do events again. Like, I need to create stuff. And he looked at us and he's like, what about like you two doing something? We're like, no, we don't want to. Don't make something all around us, please. This is all we do. And he's like, well, what about like vintage? You guys know about the vintage world. You have a lot of friends and artists who deal with that. So that's kind of how it was born. But through that process, it was a huge, it was a lot of work to put this together. Classic car show, artists, vendors, performers, contracts, lighting, sound, like all this crazy stuff. But we've done it. We know we can do it now. Yeah. But it was the learning of, what am I good at? What are you good at? And what are you good at? What do I have to give up control of because it's just not working? Yeah. And I'm too stubborn to say, I can't do this. I can't handle it. There was a point where all three of us at some time was like, this is stressing me out. I can't do this. Yeah. You take it.
And there. Yeah.
So really just giving up control of what like this is not my forte. I can learn it. But I'm not helping anybody by trying to take control of something that is not meant for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say it out here because we had a prior conversation before we all came on. And so I'm excited if Amber and her company does things moving forward. But anyway, so
whatever your next Glamour Days is, Selena and I in person, Selena and I are coming to it.
Yes, we are.
We'll be happy to have you.
Yeah. Okay, let's, we're getting to the end. We are totally like 27 minutes over or 17 minutes over. And I don't care. This was fun.
This is fun. I never see anyone, so this is great. Yeah. This is my social interaction for the month.
You're like, I'm done. I'm like, yeah. I want to bring this up so everybody knows how to find Amber. And these are the three. Yes, you guys.
That's not Lucy. That's her.
Yes.
It blows me away.
Yeah.
So good.
Amber, I'll let you kind of tell everybody where to find you on these lovely things you sent us.
I can't. Where am I pointing? It's all backwards. Anyways, hello, everybody. Should I use my voice?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. This is Amber, and you can find me on the following platform. I hate that. That's not me. Don't be who you're not. Let's see. Instagram. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, that's LinkedIn. Is that the LinkedIn?
Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar. I'm on there. I'm not on there all the time. LinkedIn, I'm on there. Give me a job. Instagram, the other side of laughter. That is my more personal, what is Amber up to? And then Lucille.Ricardo is all Lucy stuff. So if you only want Lucy, I understand. Yeah. Go to Lucille.Ricardo. If you want both, hit up the other one. And TikTok, where I have all my fun, is the other side of laughter. So you get some Lucy, you get some me, you get some, I don't know, random thoughts of a diabetic. You get the whole shebang. So
yeah, I love it. And again, my sister who gifted me, we constantly will send like, oh, hey, Amber's live on TikTok. Okay. Or hey, look at her recent TikTok. Like you're in that mix of links that we share to each other via text. We don't like comment or we don't share on TikTok. We literally, you make it out of TikTok into a message that gets sent. You know what I mean? So
I'm honored.
Yes.
I love it.
You do need to find her. And I will tell you, I just, I love Amber so much because she put up with a like past midnight message that said, hey, would you wait, Alexa's telling me that our time is coming up soon, but no,
get out of here, Alexa.
Alexa, we don't need you. Alexa, stop. Okay,
I don't know us.
I want to tell you, I sent through her website, right? Oh, I forgot to put that on there. It's ilovelucy.me. Wait, we're going to put that in the comment section so you guys see it. But I love here. I sent her through her website a contact because she became a part of our cancer nonprofit event that we had this year. And she did a hour-long Zoom session with 10 cancer survivors, and they loved it. It was a nice break for them during their lunch. She graciously made a video that I could pop in for the show that we did, and she's just wonderful. And so, because he's like, no, it's not my thing, and she did, and I adore her. So, sorry,
the feeling's mutual,
right? Okay. Hold on, I'm putting this in here. So this is where you can find Amber on the web internet thing, and go book her, go see what she offers. I mean, seriously, she's awesome.
And someday when we can all be together in person again, that'll be a good way to, because I do have people contact me like, okay, my 50th birthday is in February and I want you to fly to Texas. And I'm like, well, right now I'm going to have to say no.
Right.
So
I just want to put this out there for people that are like, what would we even talk about? You don't have to worry about it. Amber is so good at her job. She comes up with things that you wouldn't even expect, right? And it is entertaining 100% the entire time. So don't worry about like, oh, I don't know what I would say to her, because she's going to talk right over you with her Vita Vegemin and all of these awesome fun, she's eating chocolates and like all of the traditional classic Lucy moments and more. And it's amazing.
Yeah, we did. I'm going to tell you, her intake is just, it's so good because she gets the insights and then she just incorporates it into how she's, again, like Anna just mentioned, it's not going to be one of those like, hi, Lucy. And then she goes, hi, Selena. And then like awkward pause. Like it's so much like Snow White with the birds coming to, like, that's how the thing feels like when you go in.
I have to tell you, after our last one, I tried to like do your like lip smile thing with the finger. I was in the mirror like practicing on like, I don't know how he does that so well.
Yeah. I don't have any tone in my face anymore. I'm serious. Look at this. These lines, that is from my job. I did not have those before I started 5 days a week going, oh.
Right. I'm like, hey, everybody, do you have that too? You
have these.
We definitely do.
It means you're very expressive.
Yes. Or that you frown a lot, which might be what happens in my case. Because this is my concentration face, is that big frown,
Oh yeah, these.
Yeah.
This is because I refuse to wear sunglasses. I don't refuse, I just forget. So.
It sounds like you're very like bossy about it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I didn't do it because I didn't want to, but I will just say this. Hey, you guys, it's kind of like Russian. It's like, support your artists. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like when you can. And like what Amber offers, she didn't pay us to do all this. Like we literally like, please come on our show, please come on our show. It's so easy. And now this whole dang world is so virtual. She does it so well. You know what I mean? And I can imagine like when I have her do a session with my 90th year old grandma, like I'm curious what that may look like. I haven't even talked to Amber about it, but like, my grandma might be confused, like what is going on? I can see her looking at my aunt, like what's happening on the screen? Why is Lucy here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but she's so good. Like, and so I think just if you have the extra dollars, do something fun and different. Like go support somebody in the artist world. Is that the right way to say it, Amber? Like, you know what I mean? Like that
in independent gig workers.
Yeah.
I don't want to say all my friends, but most of my friends, that I've had for many, many years, I've met through doing theater, through doing, what I do, and no one's working. Nobody. And, I'm sure you've seen it out there of artists saying, oh gosh, I need a job. And then people saying, well, just pick a different field. And it's like, we studied for years, just like you went to school for architecture or whatever, pick your profession. We've studied for years. We have devoted thousands of dollars to education and costumes and all of our materials and curtains and, whatever, and technology, whatever it is. This is our world. This is our career. So to say, well, just adapt or die, like we've had to.
Yeah.
It's not only our careers in the money sense, which everything has been shut down, it is our passion. It is our heart. And we are heartbroken right now. We are so heartbroken. There was a video that made me bawl my eyes out that I got to be a part of. The tent that we did Glamour Days in, our friend Peter has a deal with a Belgian family that he takes care of, this beautiful 1940s European circus tent. And because of the pandemic, he can't have them come over and put it back in its shipping crate and send it back to where it's safe. So he has to pay for the property rental that it's on. He has to pay for insurance. He has to pay for all this stuff. And money is tight. So we did this video, where it was me, a Maryland performer, a few of the other circus performers that have performed there throughout the years, and a local Santa Clarita music artist. She recorded her version of Send in the Clowns, and they filmed it alone in this tent. Yeah. And it was like these flashback videos of all of us, we're sad because we're not performing, but we decide, what, we're going to get ready. So in our homes, we're doing our makeup, and it was just, and then maybe next year, and
you're gonna have to share this video with us. Post it out there and be like, hey, if you watched our show to the end, then this is that video Amber's talking about. It sounds amazing.
It's more than a job. Like I had that job because if I can get paid for my joy, that's great. But the part of it that kept me coming back is the interaction and the people I get to meet and talk to, and having fun and bringing joy. And we miss that. We don't just miss our jobs. We miss doing that. We miss interacting with people. So if you want a taste of that, support your local singing telegram person, or, there's tons of people out there who are offering online things, or pencil them in for an event.
Yeah, with Amber Schwinn
in 10 months or something.
No, but yes, and I'm gonna just I totally agree, Jamie. The world needs artists now more than ever. It's that kind of emotion. I'll leave kind of our thing. My husband and I, we were watching the movie 1917, and there was a scene in the movie where he just goes through all of these things, and he ends up with his own troupe, and this is based obviously 1917, World War I. But he comes up onto one of the soldiers just singing, and all the other soldiers are just sitting there like beat up and just like kind of being in that moment. And I was telling my husband, like, man, that's just kind of like, this is why I love music and art in that way, because it just allows your soul to kind of take a minute and just like take a minute, I guess, that's all I can say about it. So I totally agree, Jamie. Again, Amber, Anna and I are so really blessed to have had you on our first show for season 4. You're amazing. And I think, Anna and I, we talked about this. The one thing is, when we asked Amber goes, am I coming on as Lucy? And I was like, no, we should have you come on as you, right? Yeah. But because you should get to know the people behind the business and know that they are human, and know that there is more than just this front window view that you see. There's a lot when you go inside the doors, so anyway.
Well, and I think it makes your experience better as a consumer and as a business partner, or somebody who's looking to, brand with you. It makes your experience better to know not just the business persona, but that personal persona that's that mixture of the two. Yeah. Just like we just spent an hour talking about.
I know. We just said,
go back, rewatch.
Yeah. Right? Rewatch the show.
Yeah.
So listen, we're going to close down the show now, but listen, you can find us at AnnaandSelena.com. We have a website. No. Well, it's going up right now. It's a landing page, but it's getting there.
Right.
We're on Facebook, YouTube, and then, of course, your favorite podcast platform. We always end up uploading our shows onto podcasts. Mm-hmm. Next week, we have Jason Day with Day Violins. He started his business 20 some odd years ago and has grown it into this awesome violin stringed instrument, premier stringed instrument in Northern Virginia. So we're excited to have him on, come talk about that process for him as an entrepreneur. And hashtag and come watch us weekly. We love having you here with us.
Yep. Yay. Okay, guys. Amber, thank you again from Anna and I.
Thank you, Selena. Thank you, Anna. This was lovely.
Yes, it was.
We'll see you backstage. All right, guys. We're out. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.